Brooks residents.
Plus, Senator Collins faces increasing backlash in the face of the possible overturning of Roe v. Wade.
And we share important safety tips as ATV riding season approaches. The 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 starts right now.
Now, your primetime local news leader. Fox 22 News at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois.
And I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, Maine State Police Troop D has recovered thousands of dollars worth of stolen property.
According to the state police, a trooper was called to a home on Morgan Pitch Road in Brooks for a reported burglary on May 5th. Police say the complainant told them that items including a snowblower, generator, and other electronics and tools had been taken. According to police, the same person called back on May 9th reporting a burglary at another property nearby where a cook stove worth several $1,000s was stolen. During the investigation, troopers spoke with 65-year-old James Hatch of Winterport and charged him with 2 counts of burglary Class C and 1 count of theft by unauthorized taking or transfer Class B. Police say the property that was recovered was worth more than $10,000. The items have since been returned.
Meanwhile, the brother of a missing Sullivan man is in trouble with the law. Hancock County District Attorney Matthew Foster says 41-year-old Lincoln Snowdeal is being charged with theft. According to Foster, Snowdeal allegedly stole thousands of dollars worth of tools belonging to his brother Anson Snowdeal. Anson has been missing since February and is wanted by police. The Maine Department of Public Safety spokesperson Shannon Moss confirmed in April that Anson is the subject of a criminal investigation and that he knew about pending charges at the time of his disappearance. There is an active warrant out for Anson's arrest.
The Maine Attorney General's office released the name of the juvenile who fatally shot a man in Brooks last week. The AG says 16-year-old Atilio Delgado has been charged with 1 count of intentional murder. Delgado's initial court appearance was on Monday and was closed to the public. Police have identified the victim as the homeowner, 49-year-old James Clooney of Brooks. Clooney's body was transported to the office of the chief medical examiner in Augusta. That case still under investigation.
A Maine man incarcerated at a Wyndham prison died after an assault in his cell left him hospitalized with a traumatic brain injury. According to the Maine Department of Corrections, 30-year-old Ronaldo Jones died Tuesday under the supervision of medical staff. Investigators believe Jones was attacked by the person that shared his cell back in January. He was hospitalized with a traumatic brain injury at Maine Medical Center. Investigators did not file criminal charges against Jones's cellmate. Jones was serving time on theft charges and was scheduled to be released in January of 2023. A state police spokesperson says more details are expected to be released following an investigation into the circumstances of Jones's death.
For the past week, Senator Susan Collins has been receiving threatening messages due to her then likely vote against the Women's Health Protection Act that supports Roe v. Wade. Our Sierra Jordan explains.
It's been a tough couple of weeks for Senator Susan Collins. In February, the office of Susan Collins released a statement saying, in part, quote, "I support the abortion rights established by Roe v. Wade and affirmed by Planned Parenthood versus Casey."
Dignity for closest access
However,
to this
Senator
bill
Collins
is
is facing significant backlash for supporting the confirmation of Supreme Court Justices Brett Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch in the wake of a leaked draft opinion that would overturn Roe v. Wade.
She told everybody that she felt that Roe v. Wade was settled law and that Kavanaugh would not vote against it. People were gaslit by her, and they're rightly upset.
State of Maine
According to
previously
Senator
adopted
Collins'
federal
office,
abortion protections on
threatening letters and phone calls from pro-choice protesters. According to her office, Senator Collins has also received threatening messages related to her support of Kenaji Brown Jackson, who is the first black woman to be confirmed to the Supreme Court.
There's no way in hell I'm going to leave any information at all. Just you vote for that black, I'll kill you.
That's not all. Over the weekend, pro-abortion chalk drawings appeared on the sidewalk of Senator Collins' home in Bangor. Some of the messages include, "Blessed to be the First Amendment," "SOS Save a Susie," and many more. Bangor Police Department responded to Senator Collins' home at 9:20 p.m. Saturday following the chalk messages. According to Sergeant Wade Betters of Bangor Police, the messages were not threatening.
It didn't surprise me that somebody had done that.
The Senate is slated to vote on the Women's Health Protections Act Wednesday, which will codify Roe v. Wade.
It will become harder for people in rural parts of the country.
And Pingree have differing opinions on what the majority of America.
For people to have access to these procedures.
In studio, I'm Sierra Jordan reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
And according to the New York Times, the Senate did vote to block legislation that would have solidified Roe v. Wade as federal law. Democrats fell short of the 60 votes they needed to take up the legislation, with the vote ending up 51 to 49. In addition to all Senate Republicans voting no, Democrat Joe Manchin also joined them. Maine's independent Senator Angus King voted yes.
Well, a bill set to provide funding for 2 programs supporting environmental projects in underserved communities was recently signed into law by the governor. Governor Mills signed LD 1974 into law, which will provide more than $200,000 for the Maine Climate Corps and Maine Service Fellows. The Maine Climate Corps will begin as a pilot program, sending proposal requests to nonprofits and municipalities statewide. Organizers from Volunteers Maine are asking for nonprofits to identify their needs and ideas on how to put together a climate corps in their own communities. Representative Morgan Riley sponsored the bill and says these additional funds will help find solutions to a critical issue.
The biggest issue of our lifetime is addressing the climate crisis. This is going to be an effort that's going to be an intergenerational effort. It's going to take all of us, from Mainers right now who are in high school to retirees here in the state.
Applicants could qualify for a living allowance if approved to volunteer full-time through the Maine Service Fellows. Anyone interested in paid opportunities should visit volunteermaine.gov.
Maine business owners are announcing a new nonprofit project with the goal to transition every Maine business to clean energy. On the pathway, project leaders say many small Maine businesses are interested in moving away from fossil fuels, but many don't know where to start. Its goal is to create a carbon-neutral economy in Maine by 2045. By joining the nonprofit, leaders say they will provide an easy and approachable way for owners to get started. Chris Stanley, president of Lamy Wellahan Shoes, spoke about his experience moving his business toward clean energy. He says it started with the simple step of reducing trash, then recycling. That snowballed into sustainability and evaluating energy usage.
We made only small steps during the journey. Over the years, and it's really been decades, we haven't done anything major. We've done incremental steps. And collectively, if more businesses, if not all businesses, were to make small steps, we as an entity will make huge strides.
Well, 20 Maine companies across Maine have already pledged to stop burning fossil fuels.
Well, Maine has clarified some of its marijuana rulemaking procedures in a move supporters say will protect medical users and growers. The bill to clarify new rulemaking parameters for the State Office of Marijuana Policy went into effect late last month as an emergency measure. Supporters of the proposal said this week it makes changes to the Maine Medical Use of Marijuana Act to make it easier to understand. The Maine legislature approved the bill unanimously. And taking a look outside, we've been absolutely spoiled this week so far. Definitely not complaining. Yeah. And gosh, it looks like there's more on the way. I almost don't want to drink it.
Yeah, right. I mean, we've been getting warmer and warmer, and hopefully that trend continuing as you possibly insinuated.
Well, with a little bit more on that, we'll turn things over to Jeff Weller and take a first look at our forecast.
Beth, thank you. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather is brought to you by Scott's Recreation with offices in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono. And all right, so here we go. Temperatures today, look what we did. 77 here in Bangor, also Millinocket. A bit colder down east in coastal areas. That onshore flow today will continue into tomorrow. Lots of sunshine out there earlier, get that temperatures a boost, but tomorrow we'll get a couple more clouds across the area as there is something across the Midwest and Great Lakes right now. We'll get some high clouds off of that tomorrow. No rain in our forecast anytime soon. So our forecast then tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies, some mostly clear skies with low temperatures down in the 40s. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth?
All righty, Jeff. Thanks so much.
Still to come on Fox 22 News at 10. Governor Mills travels to Piscataquis County to have an open discussion with members of Maine Highlands.
And the American Lung Association is hosting Turquoise Takeover Week to bring attention to lung cancer. We'll have those stories and more when we come right back.
Breathe in. Can you sense it? The feeling of becoming something greater? Here in the heart of Maine, you'll find a place that the innovators of tomorrow have called home for the last 150 years, the University of Maine. Ranked as one of the nation's top research institutions, our opportunities know no bounds, because UMaine isn't just a destination. It's a gateway to new horizons that shape who we are. We are UMaine.
Take your waterfront experience to the next level and enjoy life on the water to the fullest with a Shoremaster dock system from Hammond Lumber Company.
I was in a bad accident with a commercial truck and need surgery. The insurance company is trying to get out of paying me any money. They're trying to rip me off.
In my experience, insurance companies try to avoid paying injured people what's fair over 90% of the time. We can get you the money you really deserve.
I called the Twos, and Lowry and Associates didn't let the insurance company rip me off. They turned that $0 offer into $300,000.
Call the Twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
Out with the old and in with the new. Check out Pat's Pizza Specials. Tuesdays, $5 spaghetti and meatballs. Tuesday all day breadstick special. Wednesday, large one-topping pizzas, $8. Wednesday, small steak and cheese with french fries, $6.25. Friday, fish with french fries, $7.50. Saturday, small one-item pizza, fountain soda, $7.25. And you can still save some dough. Bring the family to the all-new Pat's Pizza, 662 Main Road North, Hamden.
Fox Thursday is all new.
Awesome!
First,
we're having a bake sale.
It's the sweetest show on TV.
Does anybody need help?
But someone's cookie is about to crumble.
It's like an insult to the word cookie.
Looks like a giant dog poop.
All new MasterChef Junior. Then it's the kind of place you don't want to pass through.
52 views and counting!
No, you'll want to hang for a whole hour.
Yes! Nailed it!
All new back-to-back episodes of Welcome to Flash, Thursday on Fox.
Hi, I'm Joe Cortez. Coming up on Good Morning Maine, it's Lung Cancer Awareness Week. We'll hear from our healthcare professionals. Plus, sports will have the latest out of our local area. Devin Biggs will have your full weather forecast with some beautiful weather coming in, and we'll be announcing the winners of our ticket giveaway concert. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back. Governor Mills traveled to Piscataquis County to have an open discussion with members of Maine Highlands as they expressed their hopes to strengthen their rural communities. AJ Douglas was there and has details.
The lack of state services within Piscataquis County is one of the topics that kept popping up during our discussions.
Groups like Maine Highlands Working Communities have been pushing to bring back state services since the initial removal in 2007. Thursday, the governor sat down with local leaders throughout the county to learn what hurdles they are facing while living in rural Maine.
Housing in this area is atrocious. I think when we moved here, we got the last nice place in Dexter. There are so many buildings that are sitting in disrepair.
Residing in housing that is substandard, that may be filled with mold or inadequate structures and stuff, which creates health problems.
Those attending the event addressed major concerns, such as the reduction of elementary schools as the number of students continues to decrease. Others expressed a wide disconnect due to the lack of access to broadband, while a few talked about progress for the future.
Where do you see your communities 5 years from now? What do you envision physically, spiritually? What does it look like 5 years from now?
More diverse. As you see, we're not real diverse around here either. I can see us getting more diverse, and we got to be prepared for that. And I see more jobs. I just see more opportunities for our people.
A member from the Bundle Maine Project took a moment to address the importance of community members coming together to discuss long-term resolutions.
The Maine Project is something that we're really proud of, but it highlights one of the biggest assets in my mind of the region, which is the fact that people from varying workplaces, varying backgrounds, bring their expertise to the table to help address problems.
Members of the panel discussion understand that solutions will take time and community efforts to resolve, but are pleased to develop stronger relationships among each other and state leadership. AJ Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
There's only a few weeks of school left, but a surge in COVID cases has districts changing plans. An elementary school in Norway is going virtual the rest of the week because of an outbreak. And as Mal Meyer explains, other schools are also trying to get COVID under control.
COVID cases have been on the rise recently at the private school Waynfleet in Portland's West End. Last week, they had 55 new cases.
We only had about 10 cases the entire first semester.
To me, this is a time where we all have to show an enormous amount of resilience.
To combat the increase, the school is delaying performances, bringing back a mask mandate, and moving more activities outdoors.
And that shows that we can actually manage this, but it does have an impact.
So it's frustrating. Obviously, I look forward to a day when we don't have these ups and downs.
The superintendent for Portland Public Schools tells us they decided to bring back masks based on rising COVID cases and CDC recommendations.
You know, we've been very clear since the beginning that we would follow the guidance that we received from our medical team.
They're doubling down on the basics. That means staying home if you feel sick.
We feel we really are trying to keep as many cases off campus as possible.
Even with this COVID surge, some pandemic tools are going away. This is the last week for pooled testing, a staple for schools to find new cases.
It's frustrating for us that it's going away.
But she understands why. The state says pooled testing is just not as effective as it once was. Plus, there are other, faster options available.
We're really fortunate to be near the airport where they have great testing.
And the state has offered up more than 1 million free rapid tests for districts, so families can figure out if their student is sick before going to school.
That was Mal Meyer reporting. Well, a major announcement, St. Mary's Health System in Lewiston is closing its Women's Health and Maternity Center. Brad Rogers explains what's behind the closing, why doctors say it's the right decision, and what it means for expectant mothers and staff of the Women's Center.
Corinne LaBerge recently gave birth to her second child at St. Mary's.
It was really nice. It was fairly new. The rooms were clean. All the nurses were really nice.
But doctors and administrators believe the time has come to close the hospital's maternity and women's health center.
Extremely tough decision.
St. Mary's president says for years they delivered well over 1,000 babies a year. But in the last 5 years, they've seen a steady decline with only 485 births last year.
Looking at where the birth rates are going and what the needs are in the community, we felt it would be best to close our program, work closely with Central Maine Medical Center to absorb that.
But it's more than the declining birth rate.
There's a lot of high-risk pregnancy in this community.
St. Mary's now sends a number of expectant mothers to Portland for specialized care.
It's a hardship for a lot of women who have to go down to Portland to have their babies for premature birth or high-risk, pregnancies. And so our goal is really to work together to keep women here.
St. Mary's will transition patients over to Central Maine Medical Center, which has a level 2 neonatal intensive care unit. We're told many OBGYNs, nurses, and midwives have already made the decision to go to CMMC.
We've obviously worked hard to reassure that they will all have positions either here or at Central Maine.
If it makes sense to combine them, I don't think it really makes a difference to me as long as I'm getting good care.
Even so, nurses and midwives are upset after being told today of the closing.
I had both of my babies here, and so I feel that.
The maternity ward officially closes at the end of July. Administrators here have no plans yet for the Women's Center space.
The American Lung Association is hosting Turquoise Takeover Week to bring attention to lung cancer. Lance Bushy of the American Lung Association says people are encouraged to wear turquoise, and they'll be sharing messages on social media and illuminating buildings and landmarks in turquoise to help raise awareness. He says lung cancer is the leading cancer killer of men and women in the U.S., and it's estimated that more than 1,600 Mainers will be diagnosed in 2022.
Maine does have the 6th highest lung cancer incidence rate in the country. So we do know that early detection can help improve survivability rates, though. So just making people aware of lung cancer and early detection and the ability of a low-dose CT screen for those who are at high risk can improve survivability rates.
Boucher says anyone can get lung cancer, but smoking and radon exposure are risk factors. And if you're over 50 and have a smoking history, he recommends visiting savedbythescan.org to take a short quiz to determine if a low-dose CT screen for lung cancer is right for you. And coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, there's new reaction to the Senate vote on abortion rights, with Republicans defending their vote as they await a final decision from the Supreme Court.
And a senior Russian official denounces U.S. aid for Ukraine as part of a U.S. proxy war against Moscow. Those stories and more as the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
Back again, bigger and better. The Monster Truck Nitro Tour. Monster Trucks and more. Advanced discount tickets are available online at monstertrucktour.com or get them at the gate. Subject to service fees. This Friday night and 2 shows Saturday. Cross Insurance Center in Bangor.
Right now, come into Jordan's and buy as much or as little as you like. A whole house or one chair. And if the Sox sweep the World Championship this season, it'll all be yours for free. That's right, free. Now, you might not think it could happen, but they swept in 04 and in 07. They could do it again. And you still get up to 60 months no interest. Experience the Sox sweep at Jordan's.
Brooks Tire and Auto Repair, Route 7 in Dexter, is open for full-service auto repair. They sell tires for less, and nobody beats their prices. Brooks Tire and Auto Repair, Dexter. When Natural Living Center wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Natural Living Center offers natural groceries, organic produce, the largest selection of supplements in the area, gluten-free products, and more for your health.
Dude, can you believe we're graduating? And they helped us find a great job. Soon we'll be living the dream.
Exactly. I'm incredibly grateful for Maine Job Corps. If it wasn't for them, I'd be working an entry-level job and barely making it.
Let Team Maine Job Corps help find the career that's right for you. Call 561-8516.
It's another can't-miss weekend of USFL football on Fox. Saturday, QB Kyle Sloter leads the New Orleans Breakers one-handed catch against the New Jersey Generals. Touchdown. And Sunday, the Pittsburgh Maulers battle Clayton Thorson and the Houston Gamblers. All the way to the house. Real football for real fans. The USFL, Saturday and Sunday on Fox.
Back again, bigger and better. The Monster Truck Nitro Tour. Monster Trucks and more. Advanced discount tickets are available online at monstertrucktour.com or get them at the gate. Subject to service fees. This Friday night and 2 shows Saturday. Cross Insurance Center in Bangor.
If you've been injured in an accident, tell them you mean business.
Back, the Democrats are plotting their next steps after the Senate failed to vote on a measure that would enshrine abortion rights into federal law. They want to make this a central campaign issue ahead of the 2022 midterms. Meanwhile, there's growing concern around protests happening outside of the homes of Supreme Court justices and whether the Justice Department should do more to offer protection. Fox's Madeline Rivera has more from Washington.
On this vote, the yeas are 49, the nays are 51.
As expected, a bill to protect abortion rights nationwide fell short of the 60 votes needed to advance it in the Senate.
We are going to continue to highlight this issue relentlessly and strongly between now and November because it is so important.
From the start, Democrats lacked the support among their own members to pass the Women's Health Protection Act. Senator Joe Manchin, the only Democrat to side with Republicans, believes the bill is too broad. Wednesday's vote is symbolic, meant to mobilize voters ahead of the midterm elections.
Now is the time to lift up our voices and fight
back.
Protests over a draft opinion suggesting the Supreme Court is ready to overturn Roe v. Wade are intensifying. Abortion activists are continuing to gather outside the homes of Supreme Court justices. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin and Maryland Governor Larry Hogan are now calling on Attorney General Merrick Garland to safeguard the justices.
This is just fundamentally wrong, to have people showing up at the justices' homes and trying to influence and intimidate them.
Some political experts are warning of potential backlash for Democrats.
And Democrats are playing with fire here when they refuse to unequivocally condemn this pressure campaign at the Supreme Court justices' own homes.
In light of the protests, the Department of Justice is ordering more security protections for the justices, directing the U.S. Marshals Service to help ensure their safety. In Washington, Malda Rivera, Fox News.
Well, the House has emphatically approved a fresh $40 billion Ukraine aid package that beefs up President Biden's initial request. A senior Russian official is denouncing U.S. aid for Ukraine as part of a U.S. proxy war against Moscow. Fox's Trey Yingst is in Kyiv with a look at the devastation left behind by Russian troops.
Destroyed cars lined the road outside the city of Kharkiv. This time last week, these small towns in northern Ukraine sat on the front lines.
These are our citizens who tried to evacuate. Unfortunately, they were with children. They were shot with an automatic gun. One car was hit with a cannon.
Ukrainian forces say they've launched multiple successful counteroffensives around the city, as reports indicate some Russian troops were pushed all the way back over the border. Speaking to a group of French students Wednesday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky detailed the thousands of innocent people killed so far in the war and the millions displaced.
How could it have been possible? Why no global or European institution is now enough to stop this war? And you know, I don't want that to remain a rhetorical question.
Zelensky also discussed the southern port city of Mariupol, where Ukrainian fighters remain holed up in the Azovstal steel plant. Russian troops who surround the plant continue to bomb the soldiers. Further east in the Russian-occupied region of Kherson, Russian-installed leadership claims they will ask Moscow to annex the region. The true extent of devastation in Kherson isn't known, but officials fear that civilians had similar experiences to those outside of Kyiv. Like Anna Salenko, whose husband was tortured and executed in their family home. Anna says he was shot in the back of the head. His hands were tied and his fingers were shot off, she adds. All that's left now are memories and photos. I was asking him to join me and leave here, but he didn't want to, Anna recalls. What can I say more? This is my fate. Ukraine is trying everything possible to change the actions of Russia. Today, the country cut off some Russian natural gas supplies normally headed to European countries. In Kyiv, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
Meanwhile, inflation is still running rampant through the American economy. President Biden continues to blame COVID, Russia, and Republicans. Fox's Jackie Heinrich has the story.
April's inflation data is out, and it's worse than expected, although slightly better than March.
You do see the slowdown, so that's better than bad news. But I'm a little hesitant to call it good news because we don't know, of course, where it's going to go in the next few months.
Consumer prices accelerated 8.3% in April, down from 8.5% the month prior. Cooling for the first time in months, but still higher than the 8.1% Dow Jones economists predicted. Core inflation, stripping out volatile food and energy costs, also higher than expected, rising 6.2%.
He is acutely aware of these challenges, and that's why he has dispatched his economic team. We are on the case.
The president, speaking to farmers in Illinois, announced new plans to make food more affordable, doubling funding for domestic fertilizer production and expanding eligibility for double cropping insurance and precision farming tools. But he continued to blame Putin for higher prices.
American farmers understand Putin's war has cut off critical sources of food. Ukraine was the world's largest producer of wheat and corn and cooking oil.
A new record high for gas prices dealt the president another blow. The national average for a gallon of regular reaching $4.40, up from $2.98 a year ago. The price of diesel even worse, now $5.55 a gallon, up $2.43 from a year ago.
It forces up the price of practically everything that travels on a truck to reach the scene of a store or a supermarket. Inflation on top of inflation.
Republicans say the solution is simple.
Turn to Congress and say freeze all spending. You've got a budget, live within your budget.
But Team Biden says more spending on green energy subsidies, elder and child care, affordable housing, and electric cars will bring down the cost of living. And Republicans in Congress are standing in the way.
The Republicans don't want to come to the table on that.
Speaking to electrical union workers, the president just delivered a lengthy defense of the American Rescue Plan, which Republicans and some economists say exacerbated inflation. The president argued that it helped millions of Americans put food on the table, but his critics say it caused too many dollars to chase too few goods. At the White House, Jackie Heinrich, Fox News.
COVID-19 infections are on the rise nationwide due to the BA.2 Omicron subvariant. Health officials are remaining cautious but prepared as several states report increases of infections but no significant uptick in deaths. Fox's Casey Stiegel has more from Dallas.
The BA.2 Omicron subvariant continues to drive a surge of infections across the country. CDC data published this week shows 43% of new infections last week were due to the subvariant, also known as stealth Omicron. The Northeast is feeling the brunt of new cases, responsible for 66% of new COVID-19 infections nationwide. Despite this, officials say hospitalizations and deaths remain low thanks to high vaccination rates in current hotspots.
We've got a lot of tools in our toolkit to keep ourselves, our families, and our community safe.
The U.S. is currently averaging 66,000 new cases daily, up from 29,000 1 month ago. Despite the growing number of infections, states and cities are standing firm and have not reinstated mitigation measures like mask wearing at this time.
If we don't keep our guard up, if we don't do some of the basic things like maintaining a level of testing, making sure that we're keeping people vaccinated and boosted, we're going to lose more lives unnecessarily.
Dr. Anthony Fauci also reiterated that message and says Americans should not let their guard down just yet.
I don't think you're going to see all of a sudden one day there's going to be a declaration that the pandemic is over, and it's more of an endemic kind of infection that you could live with.
President Biden is expected to deliver remarks about the ongoing pandemic fight during a global COVID-19 summit scheduled at the White House for Thursday. That's the latest from Dallas. Casey Stiegel, Fox News.
Still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, Hudson University employees who are retiring received a special gift in this year's planting ceremony.
And in sports, Maine baseball is coming off their first series loss since March, but there was still some good to come out of the weekend for the Black Bears. More on that. We'll be right back.
All the fallout from the Bloodlines match with RK Bro and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania Backlash. It's an all-new edition of Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
Edgewater Motel and Cottages, an all-waterfront property nestled on one of Bar Harbor's most picturesque coves, offering affordable rates with a prime location near Acadia National Park. Edgewater is your upscale casual choice for vacation cottage living.
The furniture you've been looking for is in stock and on sale at the Furniture Gallery. Spring into savings with great deals like 10% off all in-stock recliners. Refresh your home with this new living room set for just $888. Save $500 on this Ashley 3-piece reclining set. The Furniture Gallery brings you better brand names, plus a bigger in-stock selection, all at the lowest prices around. This spring, support Maine family-owned businesses and save money. Find your best value at the Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, Gorham, and North Windham.
Life. It's changed. It's not business as usual. Healthy air quality, safe environments, and properly working equipment are more critical than ever. Our goal has always been the comfort, safety, and security of building occupants for all types of organizations and facilities. We're all in this together, and at Mechanical Services and Main Controls, We're here to help keep your buildings safe.
At Bouchard Cleaning, rebuilding and restoring means more than just another job. To us, it's about bringing back cherished memories, restoring unforgettable moments in time, and giving hope when all was thought to be lost. For over 35 years, our mission has remained the same. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
Perfection. It's a never-ending pursuit. Massive strike! There's nothing like the string of strikes. One builds into 2 to 3 to 4. Sweep them! Perfect! The stakes are higher, and the emotions run deeper. Another strike! Because in the biggest moments, perfection massive cleanup is everything. Got it! Where will you be when history strikes?
Oh, yeah! The PBA Playoffs Final, Sunday at 2 Eastern, on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Edgewater Motel and Cottages, an all-waterfront property nestled on one of Bar Harbor's most picturesque coves, offering affordable rates with a prime location near Acadia National Park. Edgewater is your upscale casual choice for vacation cottage living.
The town of Hamden may be getting 16 townhouses located at 676 Main Road North, right next to Dollar General and Pat's Pizza. The engineer on the project received preliminary approval for the site during Wednesday's town meeting. Engineer Kim Kaiser says there are a few things that need review, though, before the project's final vote and approval by the town in a few months. And he says their biggest concern is water flowing downstream to the proposed site. Now, blueprints for the property have yet to be made public.
A nearly $1 billion tentative settlement has been reached in a class action lawsuit brought by families of victims and survivors of last June's condominium collapse in Surfside, Florida. Attorney Harley S. Tropin announced the $997 million settlement on Wednesday during a hearing before Miami-Dade Circuit Court Judge Michael Hansman. Still pending final approval, the settlement involves insurance companies, developers of an adjacent building, and other defendants. The 12-story Champlain Towers South condominium collapsed abruptly in the early morning hours of June 24th, almost instantly burying victims under tons of rubble. Rescuers spent weeks carefully digging through mountains of concrete, first to find survivors and later to recover the remains of those who died. A total of 98 people were killed. The main lawsuit filed on behalf of Champlain Towers South victims and family members contends the work on the adjacent 87 Park Tower damaged and destabilized the Champlain Towers building, which was in dire need of major structural repair. Champlain Towers was in the midst of its 40-year structural review when it partially crumbled to the ground.
Well, Husson University employees who are retiring received a special gift this afternoon. Every year, Husson University plants spruce trees to honor the dedicated employees who have helped students grow and achieve success. At noon, 8 Husson employees with more than 10 years of service were recognized with a tree planting ceremony on the Bangor campus. Ken Stack is an instructor who has devoted more than 30 years of service to the communications and business school at Husson.
It's part of a larger heritage that is Husson University, of Husson's commitment to its people and its staff and faculty commitment to Husson and just moving that forward. And so it's a wonderful, actually, ongoing bonding between Husson and their people. I love it.
Stack received a traditional Husson chair following the ceremony. He says he's looking forward to relaxing once the semester is over, and he's got a brand new chair to do it in.
Pretty great there. Well, meanwhile, ATV riding season is just around the corner, but before the trails open, our Brooke Riley shares some important safety tips.
ATVing can be a fun sport, but it's important to exercise safety precautions before and while riding.
You have to use common sense or you're going to get hurt.
Butler says accidents happen when people outride their abilities.
You're out there for fun and enjoyment, and so we stop every 10 miles or so and have a drink of water or talk to people, see what's going on, make sure everybody's doing all right.
According to Butler, it's always good to ride with a companion.
It's a good thing to know your hand signals, so if you ride with more than one person, which you should never really ride alone because you can ride further than you can walk.
Before you begin riding for the season, Butler says everyone should give their vehicle safety checks.
Make sure it's ready to go, change the oil, change the air filter, and keep the dust out of that. You need to check your air pressure in your tires. You need to make sure you got your antifreezes up to level and that you keep your radiator clean of mud and debris and stuff like that so it doesn't heat up on you.
Butler says it's important to note that the trails are not yet open.
Right now, unless you have a 100-acre property, don't be riding on somebody else's land. It's not good, it's not respectful, and that's the way we lose our trails. And we've got over 6,000 miles of trails in the state of Maine at this time.
Butler expects the trails to open in the next week or two once they dry up a little more.
Have fun, be safe, and be considerate.
In Eddington, Brooke Riley, ABC 7 and Fox 22.
And just some wonderful riding weather out there. Perfect weather really just to get outside.
Absolutely. So will Mother Nature keep with that good timing for long enough for the ATVers to get out there and enjoy the outdoors in that first week? Well, Jeff Weller's back with our full 5-day. Hopefully we'll get a glimpse ahead.
Look what we did today. High temperatures back in the mid-70s across much of the area. Tomorrow, same story, and then it gets even warmer, followed by a big cool down. But when will it rain again? Those details when I come back.
Back again, bigger and better. The Monster Truck Nitro Tour. Monster Trucks and more. Advanced discount tickets are available online at monstertrucktour.com or get them at the gate. Subject to service fees. This Friday night and 2 shows Saturday. Cross Insurance Center in Bangor.
Hey Bangor residents, the City of Bangor is offering up to $2,000 in grants for income-eligible single-family homeowners if you install a new Fujitsu heat pump in your home. And Valley Home Services is an authorized Fujitsu installer. Up to $2,000. Combine that grant with rebates from Efficiency Maine, and you can have a new Fujitsu heat pump installed by Valley Home Services at little to no cost. Don't miss this incredible offer, Bangor. Call Valley Home Services today to see if you qualify.
For the best boat deals this year, see your favorite brands on the waterfront in Belfast for Hamlin Marine's Saltwater Boat Sale. At Hamlin's Marine, we are powered by Yamaha Outboards, and we have more than 20 boat packages on display from Carolina Skiff, Hurricane, Janelle, Scout, Sea Chaser, and Weldcraft, including dinghies on display from Achilles and Puffin. Pre-register today for a chance to win $1,000 worth of Helly Hansen apparel. Go to our website for details.
And come see us at the Belfast Saltwater Boat Sale in our new showroom on the Belfast waterfront.
Major League Baseball on Fox.
What I'm doing, getting right to it. Talking on something that's coming in just how I do
it. Jaw-dropping stuff. Major League Baseball returns May 28th on Fox.
Back again, bigger and better. The Monster Truck Nitro Tour. Monster Trucks and more. Advanced discount tickets are available online at monstertrucktour.com or get them at the gate. Subject to service fees. This Friday night and 2 shows Saturday. Cross Insurance Center in Bangor.
We are back.
Let's go. Wow.
It was sick.
Oh my God.
High temperatures back in the mid-upper 70s today, except right along down east areas and coastal areas of highs in the 60s. Same story tomorrow with that onshore flow. Tonight we'll have lows basically in the 50s, followed by a return to upper 70s to low 80s across the region. What that means for us, though, allergies. Tree pollen is going off the charts right now. In the moderate to high category, grass will not be too far behind. So if you're sniffling and sneezing, this could be a reason why. That will continue for a couple more months around here. I know. All right, the wind out of the south currently bring that onshore flow in, so a bit colder along the coastal areas. But tomorrow, same story. The wind will not be strong. Look for winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour, but it's enough to give us a small craft advisory for wave heights out here approaching about 8 to 9 feet. just offshore through tomorrow afternoon. Okay, so today, wasn't it beautiful? High temperatures hanging out in the 70s, lots of sunshine, and that May sunshine's got some energy to it, right? It felt warm for several hours today. Tomorrow, same story, but increasingly more humid tomorrow as well as we kick in that south wind. As there's just a lot going on in the atmosphere now, lots of atmospheric gymnastics across the Great Lakes. This is going to be a mess this evening, and high clouds from that is going to blow this direction tomorrow and give us a little bit of haziness across the area midday tomorrow into tomorrow night with some clouds tomorrow evening. All right, let's walk you through it. So tonight, looking at partly cloudy skies with some dense fog in the forecast tonight. Here's tomorrow morning about 10:30 or so. The fog will likely burn off by about 10:30. You'll be done with it. But then we'll get some more fog back in the forecast later on tomorrow evening, and then some increasing clouds probably on Friday. But overall, we're going to stay dry probably until Saturday night into early parts of Sunday. This long dry stretch is continuing and nice weather around. We're actually going to have high temperatures back in the mid-80s by Friday afternoon. So rainfall looks like this. We're dry until later Friday, Saturday, most likely later Saturday. And then we're going to open the faucet, right, as the system comes through the area over the weekend and brings us a good rainfall. We could use some rainfall late Saturday into Sunday. Our forecast then tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies, low temperatures in the 40s, a couple low 50s out there, with some incredibly dense fog well after midnight. Be ready for that tomorrow morning. Any fog tomorrow will burn off slowly, but highs back near 82 tomorrow with a north breeze around 5 to 10 through the afternoon. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows even warmer temperatures. Look at Saturday, a high of 87, but then a cold front is going to come through on Sunday with a couple of thunderstorms on Sunday. Back in the 70s, even colder on Monday afternoon. Beth?
Funny how now he's saying even colder and it's still 72 degrees.
Right? You know you're getting towards summer when a cold front does that.
Yeah.
Love to see that 5-day outlook, and we'll take 77. That's okay.
How things change.
Yeah. All right, well, sports is coming up next. Stay with us.
Q106.5 is Maine's #1 for new country. The biggest country stars with their biggest songs. And more fun with Scott Miller and Cindy Campbell on the Q106.5 Morning Show. Download the Q106.5 app and listen at work. Q106.5.
Wherever you are, whether you're ready or not, it's coming. With a purpose, with persistence, with the power to change the way you live. So you don't have to change the way you live. Generac automatic standby generators. Control your power, control your life. Visit Generac.com.
Ready for this catch-22? The mental health struggles you want to work on are the same reasons you're putting off therapy. You're stuck. Sondermind makes it easy to team up with the right therapist and turn stuckness into strength.
Brooks Tire and Auto Repair, Route 7 in Dexter, is open for full-service auto repair. They sell tires for less, and nobody beats their prices. Brooks Tire and Auto Repair, Dexter.
Tuesday, May 31st.
Lego Masters is back. This time, I've got a few new bricks up my sleeve. So that worked.
12 new teams compete in a blockbusting brick blasting.
Boom boom time.
Epic new season.
Hanging out with celebrities. Hi.
Hi.
Dinosaurs are living among us.
Lego Masters premieres May 31st on Fox.
Q106.5 is Maine's #1 for new country. The biggest country stars with their biggest songs. And more fun with Scott Miller and Cindy Campbell on the Q106.5 Morning Show. Download the Q106.5 app and listen at work. Q106.5.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, what a time for Boston sports. Celtics and Bruins trading off nights, both series back and forth. And on Wednesday, it was the Celtics' turn to try and take a lead over the Bucks. To the highlight here. C's led by double digits, but we'll start in the fourth. Tatum knocks down the jumper here. Under 2 minutes to play. Giannis off the rebound. Second chance three-pointer is good. That makes it a 3-point game. And then next possession, Bobby Portis Jr. would answer with basically the same assist right there as he goes over to Drew Holiday. Tie game at 105, sees with a chance, under 10 to play. Marcus Smart takes the ball. It's out of bounds on the Celtics. So they get one last chance. Desperation after Giannis misses a free throw. It's a turnover. And just like that, the Bucks take a 3-2 series lead. 110-107 is your final. A tough pill to swallow for the Celtics. They're back at it on Friday, back in Milwaukee. All right, let's go to some baseball now that you have a chance to cool off a little bit. Recently, Maine clinched the top overall seed for the America East playoffs, and this weekend they'll celebrate the senior class that helped reestablish a winning culture in Orono. Tyler Cruz has the story.
This weekend, it's time for Maine baseball to say farewell.
I'm always sad to see everyone leave.
The Black Bears are honoring 12 seniors, including graduate students, before Saturday afternoon's game with Albany.
I think that's something that's really stuck with me, and one thing that I'll look back on and be the proudest about is being able to create something like we have here today.
For a couple Black Bears, they've spent the past 5+ years in Orono and have been a huge part in building what's now a winning program.
What we see right now as the product is a result of them, not of anybody else. So I think that's the best way for me to say it.
Yeah, I mean, my time here has been great. I mean, we struggled a lot at the beginning, but I think the biggest thing to me is changing the culture here, and giving these guys something that they can carry on for a long time now.
And they did that by being winners in everything they do.
Every single moment of their life is conducted like an adult. Right? They truly show up. They take care of their schoolwork. They're very nice people. They come from fantastic families. They expect a high degree of excellence.
Now, a couple years ago, they started out not so hot.
We've been through, together have gone through a couple of really bad seasons.
Yeah, we definitely were not good at all with those first couple of years.
But they grew together and turned Maine baseball into a championship caliber program.
Losing's the worst thing ever, and it's really bad when you get used to losing. I think those first couple of years we got used to losing, and that's something that you don't want. I mean, this year when we've lost, it's hurt.
And when soaking in all of those memories from the past years, it might get a little emotional out there this weekend.
I got a lot of family coming up, so it's going to be hard for me. I mean, just thinking about it now, it's crazy to think about my time. This place is special. It's a lot of fun. It's tough for me to look back on it now, so this weekend's going to be tough.
Reporting from Orono, I'm Tyler Cruz, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
All right, thank you, Tyler. Great job on that story. Black Bears still a couple of weeks, a couple series also away from the conference playoffs. Husson softball, though, they've already done that. NAC champions for the 4th straight season, and it's no surprise that the postseason accolades poured in for the Eagles. Sophomore Kenzie Dorr was named NAC Player of the Year after hitting .411 with 6 doubles, 7 triples, and 4 home runs. And joining her with an equally impressive honor was junior transfer McKenna Smith, as she was named NAC Pitcher of the Year after a dominant season inside the circle. The Old Town grad led the entire conference with a .70 ERA, good for top 5 in the entire nation. And in total, the Eagles had 7 players named to the East Division first or second team, including Kate Windsor, Whitney Best, Katie Raymond, and Megan Goslin. So congratulations to all of them. And they're not done yet. They have the NCAAs at Amherst this coming Friday. To the high school circuit we go for now, though. Ellsworth has dominated the field so far this season, a perfect 7-0. But could the Witches spoil their fun at Mansfield Stadium? Brewer hosting Ellsworth. Perfect night for baseball here. Bottom of the first, trouble for the Eagles. Already down 2-0. Ethan Norwood, soft liner, just drops into shallow center field. 1 earned run scores, but the Eagles throw it away, and 2 more come around to make it 5-0 Witches in the first. And then on the hill, Grady Venetestein here had it going pretty much all night long, gets the strikeout to end the third. He picks up the complete game win as Brewer knocks off Ellsworth. 5-3 was the final. And if you thought the Celtics game was tough, well, the Bruins weren't much better on Tuesday. At least, let's be frank. They didn't look good in Game 5. You can use the excuse of away ice if you want to, but if they want to move on to the next round, they have to figure that out, so I'm personally tired of that. For now, it's do or die time back in Boston, and for the first time in his entire career, Jeremy Swayman will be in net for an elimination game. Head coach Bruce Cassidy said Swayman didn't look his best in his previous game. He's seen some flashes, and that's what they'll need again to stay alive in the series.
What it comes down to me is a little bit of what's happened is I'll go to game 3. Big saves early on D'Angelo and a breakaway in Martinook. Gives us a little bit of, hey, let's find our game. Even though they scored first, I thought, those are important, timely saves. Last night we didn't get it.
All right, so the Bees are back in action on Thursday night. All right, that's sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Shop Jordan's Furniture now, and it could all be free. Visit Jordans.com.
Visit Maine's largest Chevy dealer, Quirk Chevrolet. Customize your ride by special ordering your Silverado or SUV at any of our 3 dealerships or online. It's your Chevy. Make it your own at Quirk Chevrolet.
Breathe in. Can you sense it? The feeling of becoming something greater? Here in the heart of Maine, you'll find a place that the innovators of tomorrow have called home for the last 150 years. The University of Maine. Ranked as one of the nation's top research institutions, our opportunities know no bounds, because UMaine isn't just a destination. It's a gateway to new horizons that shape who we are. We are UMaine.
Hey, it's Eric from Green Bear 420. We've been in business since 2010 and going strong, so stop in and check us out. We specialize in glass art by over 100 local artists and even have live glass blowing. Plus, we carry incense, novelties, t-shirts, and hard-to-find items. We have tons of local products for the tie-dye wearing person in your circle of friends. Come see us at 531 Moosehead Trail in Newport. And remember, Green Bear 420, it's not just a store, it's a lifestyle.
Let's do it. This May on Fox, Niecy Nash hosts a new music game show.
You are killing it!
Where contestants have to know all the lyrics or it's...
Bye, bye, bye.
All the right words have to go.
In all the right places.
It's the exact show viewers want now.
More than ever!
And with $1 million on the line...
Feels like I'm going to lose my mind.
Girl, you don't know how many days I felt like that.
Don't forget the lyrics. Monday, May 23rd on Fox.
It's your GMC. Find it at Quirk.
This year, there's a whole new season to love what we love.
Burnouts, winning, racing.
I am NASCAR.
Finally tonight, we'll leave you with a pretty sweet way to support our veterans. Pillsbury is selling flag-shaped sugar cookie dough ahead of Memorial Day. The brand made the patriotic treats in a partnership with Operation Homefront, an organization helping military families transition back into civilian life. When you make a purchase, Pillsbury will make donations to Operation Homefront. Details are listed on the cookie dough, which is now on sale through the end of August. So, yeah, a delicious treat and something you can feel good about.
I didn't need any more excuses to eat cookies, and now I have
now
one,
you
so
have
it's a
one.
win-win.
That's great. Good night,
All right.
everyone.
Good night.
For more local news coverage, switch over to our sister station, ABC7, right now for ABC7 News at 11.
Moments of life are special, and suffering from diabetes should not get in the way.
US Med's mission is to find ways to make your diabetes more manageable and more comfortable. You deserve to enjoy life without the constant reminder of living with diabetes. If you monitor with 4 or more tests per day, inject insulin 3 or more times per day, or use an insulin pump, you may qualify to receive a continuous glucose monitor, the latest in diabetes technology. A continuous glucose monitor provides blood sugar readings without uncomfortable finger sticks and alerts you real time to potentially harmful spikes in your blood sugar levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurance companies. If you're a caretaker for someone who suffers from diabetes or have diabetes yourself and meet these conditions, please call our diabetic specialist now to see if you qualify for your continuous glucose monitor.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers